The Alpha Draconians are the oldest known reptilian race in our galaxy. There are, in fact, the only genetic line of their kind that is not extinct. When we talk about that's extinct, they have found remnants of others that came after but were extinct. Most of the reptilian civilizations that we know today, in Buttes, Orion, Capella are all genetic manipulated half-breeds of the original Chekar race. They stand 18 to 25 feet tall and can weigh up to 2,500 pounds. They are like Tyrannosaurus rex. They are monsters. They have black leathery brown scale bellies, they have multiple abdomens, they have whiskers along their chin and jawline. They have a mating claw and multiple tongues. I'm going to give you some very specific information. They lay eggs, and what is called a battle hormone is used to accelerate the birthing process. They are a duality. This is why ancestral females did not participate in war, because if they did, there wouldn't be anybody there to help with the eggs. They also had to be there to secrete this hormone. I am only sharing with you what I know about them. Stronger young females were expected to defeat and kill older and weaker leaders in ritual combat. The Chekar race is ruled and managed by genetic lineage. Genetic lineage always follows the mother, because you always know who the mother is, you don't always know who the father is. In that particular line the gals have all the say. Ruled by the monarchy of a queen genetic lineage, they are one of the most powerful races in the galaxy. They have some of the greatest military might that has ever been seen in the galaxy, and most of the clan members are zealots and will do anything for the glory of their clans, of their lineage. They have been the chief enemy of all human races in this galaxy in past conflicts. Again, we are talking about hydrogen breathers versus oxygen breathers. They have 3 spinal columns. One spine is located ventrally near the stomach, the other 2 are located dorsally on the left and on the right of the Chekar's body. Spinal columns join near the dorsal of the geometric center at the extreme posterior of the trunk to form a long and very powerful tail. Inside of the hands or claws of the Chekar are jelly-like sacs that excrete the various hormones and substances when the Chekar is aroused, either for sex or for battle. As I have reported elsewhere, numerous treaties have been made by world governments between humanity and malevolent ETs. We cannot be sure exactly when government treaties began, but certainly the first appeared to have been signed on July 11, 1934. This first treaty with the Greys from Orion occurred aboard a naval ship in Balboa. This was one of the most important events in human history because it thrust us into a role we were not prepared for as regards to being a host to a malevolent extraterrestrial race. The U.S. federal government disregarded the Constitution of the United States by doing this and not telling the people. It was here that the agreement was first made between the Greys representing the reptilians from Orion and representatives of the U.S. intelligence community. The treaty stated that in return for the Greys providing high technology, anti-gravity, metals and alloys, environment, free energy and medical technology, the government would allow the Greys to proceed unhindered with human abductions. This was only if a list of abductees was provided to the government and the abductees returned unharmed with their memories of the events erased. In 1944 the second extension of the treaty was signed. I have very little details of this. In May 1954, again under the Eisenhower administration, the third extension of this treaty was signed, called the Grenada Treaty. The Greys and reptilians blatantly broke the terms of this treaty, as we shall see later in this information. The Grenada Treaty was agreed upon at the Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico by the Greys and the Ultra unit in the NSA. The original document of this treaty and the ET materials from it can be found today at the NSA facility called Blue Moon underneath Kirkland Air Force Base in New Mexico. The entrance to this underground base is in the Manzano Mountains. Also at this location is the technological base of the secretive Department of Energy, DOE. Today free energy devices developed from Grey and reptilian technology are being built for use in space at the DOE base. On April 15, 1964, 2 intelligence personnel met under Project Plato with the Greys in the New Mexico desert to arrange a meeting on April 25 at Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico. This meeting was to renew the treaty again in a psychological bid to buy time in order to solve the problem of the Greys and reptilians. The Grey and reptilian alien agenda is to slowly and covertly take over the planet in the next 30 years. Reduce the population and run the planet from underground, using the surface population as food to be taken when and how they wish. The British, Russian and US government is shooting down around 1 Grey and reptilian craft a month with particle beam weapons developed from Tesla technology. The Russians have areas the size of football fields full of crashed ET craft. If that is not a full-scale invasion, I don't know what is. The British, Russian and US government have become blood brothers and the best of friends because of the alien agenda. The Russian and US Cold War was feigned animosity and a sham so these governments could develop nuclear weapon programs to counter the alien threat. The Cold War was a lie for the public to take the attention away from what the nuclear weapons program was really being developed for, not against Russia but as a last resort against the Greys and reptilians. The headquarters of the secret international governing body in charge of dealing with the ET phenomenon is in Geneva, Switzerland. The ruling body is made up of representatives of the governments involved as well as the executive members of the group known as the Bilderbergers. As I have said, the British, American and Russian governments are working very closely together because of the Grey/reptilian threat to the planet. Although the situation is so horrendous that these governments have shattered into panicked factions, some of which have sold out and are directly helping the Greys and reptilians. The Greys and reptilians from Orion have been involved in an ancient war with the benevolent Pleiadians and other groups. The Pleiadians are a very powerful group and are the guardians of this solar system. They have helped us in the past, are helping us now and will help us in the future.
Facebook is showing less posts in newsfeed these days. In order to see our posts, use See First feature.